Stuck with a deal under contract and no cash to close? You're about to lose it. The earnest money is due, the closing date is set, and your bank account says no. Here's the part nobody tells new investors. The best operators close deal with $0 of their own money. Not by borrowing it, not by taking out a loan, but by using something called transactional funding. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what it is, the 3 places it saves your deal, and why it's not a loan. Stick around to the end and you'll know exactly how to use it on your very next contract. Let me start with the problem. Because you already feel it. You found a deal. The numbers work. There's a real spread on the table, but the contract needs earnest money in 48 hours, or you need to fund the purchase to flip it the same day, and the money's not sitting in your account. So you do what most people do. You scramble, you beg a partner, you borrow from a credit card, or worst of all, you walk away from a deal that would have paid you. That is the trap. Good deals die because of timing, not because of math. So here's the fix. Transactional funding is partnering with a funding source to provide short-term money that often never even leaves escrow. So a transaction can close with little to none of your own cash. You're not a borrower, you are the operator running the deal. The funds show up, they do their job inside the closing, and the deal gets done. Now, notice what I just said. The money often never leaves escrow. That's the whole point. This is not a check that lands in your bank account and follows you around for 30 years. It's capital placed inside a specific transaction to make that transaction happen. Now, let me show you the 3 places this actually saves your deal. Number 1, earnest money deposits, the EMD. Your contract says that you owe earnest money to open escrow. That's the cash the seller wants to see to know that you're serious. But during your inspection period, that money is just sitting there, it's locked up, it's doing nothing for you. Transactional funding can supply that EMD so that you can control the deal without draining your own account. You keep your cash free to do what you do best, which is find and work more deals. Think about it. If you are tying up $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of earnest money on every contract, how many contracts can you run at once? Your own cash is the bottleneck. Take that bottleneck out and you can chase more deals at the same time. Number 2, the double close. Now, this is a classic wholesaler move. You have a property under contract from a seller. You have a buyer lined up to pay more. But instead of assigning the contract, you actually buy it from the seller in one transaction, the A to B, and then you sell it to the buyer in a separate transaction, your B to C. It usually happens the same day. But here's the snag. To buy from the seller, you need the funds to close the first leg, even though your buyer is paying you minutes later. The order of operations requires real money to fund that A to B purchase before the B to C sale funds to you. That's exactly what transactional funding does. It funds the first close so the second close can happen. The money is in and out, often the same day, sometimes even within hours, inside escrow. You keep the spread between what you paid and what your buyer paid, minus closing costs and fees, and you never needed a pile of your own cash to make it work. Third area, the down payment on a seller carryback. You may know this as stack method, seller financing, or Morby method. But here's the setup. As a buyer, you secure a new DSCR loan, and the seller finances part of the deal by carrying back a second loan in the second position. The problem is the primary lender wants to see down payment come from somewhere real at closing. Transactional funding can satisfy that down payment requirement, so the structure clears the lender and the deal actually closes. Now, without it, a lot of creative structures fall apart at the finish line. So those are the three: EMD, double close, and the seller carryback. Same tool, 3 jobs. Now, I need to be very clear about something because this is where people get confused. Transactional funding is not a loan. A loan is money you lend out and the borrower that you carry and repay over time with interest. Transactional funding is a partner stepping into a specific transaction provided for a short-term funds that facilitate the close. Money generally never leaves escrow. Different structure, different relationship. You're not signing up for debt that follows you forever. You're getting a transaction funded. Why does that distinction matter? Because it changes how you think about the whole thing. You're not asking, can I qualify for a loan? You're asking, is this a real deal that can close? When the answer is yes, the funding's there to make it happen. Let me put it all together with a simple picture. Imagine you're the hero of your own business. The deal's in front of you, the spread's real. The only thing standing between you and the payday is timing and cash. That's the dragon. Transactional funding is the tool that slays it. It's not magic, it's not free money, and it's not a loan. It is a funding partner that shows up exactly when the transaction needs money and steps back out when the job is done. Let me recap because I want this to be clear. The problem is good deals die because the cash is not there at the exact moment that you need it. The tool? Transactional funding. Short-term money that often never leaves escrow. It's used to facilitate a transaction with little to none of your own cash. The 3 jobs: you can fund your earnest money deposit, fund the first leg of a double close, and satisfy the down payment on a seller carryback. The distinction that matters is it's not a loan. You are a partner on the transaction, not a borrower carrying debt. Once you understand this, the whole game changes. You stop walking away from deals because of cash. You start asking a better question. How do I get this funded? And you start running more deals at once because your own money is no longer the ceiling. Here is what I want you to do next. If you have a deal in front of you, or one you walked away from because the cash was not there, don't guess at the structure. Book a consult call with me and our team. We'll walk through your specific deal, figure out which of these 3 plays fits, and map out how to fund it cleanly and quickly. Bring the address, bring the numbers, and let us pressure test it together. Click the link and book a call, and let us figure out how to get your next deal closed with $0 of your own money. I'll see you on the next call.